Hey guys, it's the blogger here from dearblogger.org, and today I'm going to show you something really special, and that's how you can start a blog and make real money from it. It should only take about 20 minutes start to finish, and I'm basically going to open up my brain on everything I've learned in my 4-year blogging career, all for you. Why would I make this video? Good question. Because even today, nearly all the resources online on this subject pitch fluffy offers and spammy links, and that's just not what any of this is about. It seems like everyone's forgotten that to start a blog and make money from it, you first need an actual blog. Go figure. If you're starting up today and serious about making it, as they say, this sort of nonsense just isn't for you. So right here, we're going to make this exact blog. I figured a travel blog would be just right, but you can design whatever your heart desires. After we set everything you see here up, we'll implement 3 real ways to earn money, and that would be AdSense, Amazon Associates, where you choose what products you want to talk about on your blog, and email marketing. I've used them all in my journey, and despite being the same methods used by top bloggers, they're actually quite easy to use and learn. Then at the very end, I'll drop by in person to offer my own insight going forward on what works and what doesn't. Consider it Christmas come early. If you have any questions throughout or simply want me to expand on a topic, don't hesitate to stop the video and post a comment. I'd love that. Oh yeah, and before we begin, I need to answer a question I get every day to my email, social media, and to the blog comments. And that would be, which platform should we use? Which one is best for doing what we want to do? I'll let you know right now, it's simply not enough to use a free service like Blogger, Tumblr, or any of the others if you want to do this for real. You get a domain name that's too long and clunky, a design that's too chaotic, and most importantly, you just don't own it. I wrote a piece on HuffPost about a horror story from a friend who got his own blog shut down, so go ahead and read that if you get a chance. Instead of having to worry about all this, we're going to use WordPress, the most popular platform today, and the exact same stuff used by celebrities and name brands alike. How about that? After you're done here, you'll basically be a master in the world's most popular CMS or content management system. Alright, enough chit chat. What do you say we get started? Alright, so the first thing we want to do is get our domain name and our hosting taken care of, because once we have those two things combined, then we can use WordPress, just like the name brands and all the great celebrities that we just looked at are using. So the first thing we're going to want to do is going to be to head over to hostgator.com, and we'll free up some of that tab space above. Alright. HostGator is a really cool and easy to use company. They offer domain names which are just like hostgator.com or google.com or twitter.com. That's a domain name. And they offer hosting space, web hosting space, which is basically just some storage space online. So when you upload a picture to Facebook or something, that all goes to a little bit of space, and we are going to control the space by using HostGator, and we're going to own it. So there's no risk that anyone can take our blog down once it starts earning good money. And so that we can use WordPress.org just like those brands and celebrities we looked at earlier. So you need a domain name and you need a bit of hosting space to use WordPress. Now you might have had the impression this was all really difficult or expensive, and the good thing is it's neither of those anymore, and we're going to install WordPress really easily. But yeah, that's just a little background on HostGator, and they're also the largest host with 9 million domain customers. So we know that they're doing at least something right. Okay, cool. Lastly, before we begin, I like using the live chat sometimes. HostGator has a really nice team, a really large team of people that are paid to answer any question or solve any problem about the, any part of the process. So that's always an option. Alright, so let's get these things taken care of. We want to click on web hosting up here in the upper left, and then takes us to this page. So there's a few options. This plan for our blog is one domain. It's super cheap, and it gives us a lot of good features. I like this plan in the middle because we can use unlimited domain names. So if you set up this blog that's gonna start making money, and then you realize you want to start up another blog, like a sister website, or start your friend's blog, or start a blog for your parents, like I've done, something like that, then this is a good plan because you get unlimited domain names. This one's really only good if you're a business setting this up, but also something to consider. So we're going to go on with the baby plan, and I'm going to go ahead and register it just for 1 month, just so we can try it out. We can try out the domain name and the hosting and the WordPress, and that's great. Once we select that, I'm just going to click order now. And once we do that, we're going to be directed to the HostGator order wizard. And now's the fun part. We get to put in the domain name that we want. So I'm just going to write one in. And the one I'm going to choose is called Narai Guy, which is a nickname that one of my best friends gave me. And it's good to generally control your nickname.com, or your name.com is another good option. Because then there's no confusion when someone visits the site over who's in charge of it. So I actually already have that one. Then over here you can choose the extension, as they call it. So I like to get the .com. If it's available, it's the most recognizable. You'll probably want that one too. It's just a good one to have. But there's nothing wrong with these. They'll still operate the exact same way. The search engine optimization and how Google sees them will still be the same. It just might be a little different for your branding, which is something to consider, the blog branding. If you got a domain name already from GoDaddy or somewhere else, you can just click right here and then proceed as normal. So we're going to register a new domain, and it says congratulations, so we'll move on. We'll just scroll down, and I want the baby plan at 1 month, which is cool. So just walking you through everything here. Don't need to get any of these extras right now. I don't want those. And we're going to need to choose some account information here. And then I'll be entering this billing information in a second, but let's show you all that's going on here. Now we usually want to uncheck all the hosting add-ons because they just add unnecessary costs that we don't need. If you want them, go for it, but I like to keep this as cheap as possible. And speaking of which, right here, so there's a coupon code that I know of that you can use. It's actually my code, and you can see how snappy, when that's in there, it gives us a discount of $4.04, which is pretty good. But if you type in coffee money, I'm a big coffee fanatic, instead, and then click validate, you can see that discount jumps up to $11.99. And the reason it does so is because this gives us hosting for 1 penny, 1 cent. Okay, cool. So you can see we get our hosting for 1 penny now, and I really hope that discount helps if you were worried about the costs, like I know I was at first. And this domain name cost is pretty much something standard. Everyone pays for it when they start a website or a blog and they're serious about it. So happy to pay for that. So I think we're all set up. Just double check everything. I'm going to use the PayPal option right here just because I like using PayPal. And then we can click right here and we can click create account. And we can close out of this. I think that offered us an option to refer a friend, so you could go ahead and do that, but let's get moving here. and I'm going to click Pay Now. After we process the order with PayPal, we'll be directed right back to HostGator, and then we can proceed. Okay, so you might be wondering why we're in my email inbox right now when I said that we'd be redirected to HostGator. So we bought our domain name, we bought our hosting, we paid for it with PayPal, we bought them both from HostGator, and then we weren't redirected back to HostGator from PayPal. And that would be because I cleverly misspelled my email in the HostGator order wizard. So just a reminder to get your email correct in that section before you place the order with HostGator for your domain and your hosting. If you get one letter off in the email like I did, then the process basically stops, because what happens after you make payment is you get this email right here that's from sales and has HostGator your account info in it, and that's what you need to proceed and then install WordPress and start blogging. So it was a bit of a live snafu, and I actually had to bring up the live chat, and I talked to a really nice guy named Timothy, and he just sent the email directly to me. Even though it was misspelled, he still trusted me and said, okay, here's your account info. So now that we have this, we can open it up, and I apologize for that little blip. This email is really important. You never want to delete it, and you should probably store this info in whatever sort of storage you find most convenient. I like using a Google document, but up to you. The next thing is going to be to click on this link that says Control Panel, but before you do that, go ahead and copy this password and remember our username, which is just our domain name without the .com. And we're basically going to go and log into our control panel, and it'll be just like any other sort of online registration you've done for any sort of program or service or software, except for the fun edition that we'll be installing the web's hottest software as well, which is WordPress. So click right here. And once you click there, we can enter our username and then just paste our password right in, and then we can click login. Alright, okay, cool. The login was successful, and welcome to your new dashboard at HostGator. So congratulations, really. You have registered a domain, you have registered hosting, and we have that all in our control, so we're more than halfway done, and I think we're also making good time, which is great, so we can have a lot of time blogging. But take a quick spin around here when you get a moment. I'll show you exactly what we want to do right now though, which is scroll down to the software and services section, and you want to click on quick install, the little blue clock button. Alright, so we can click that, and once we click that, we'll be brought over here, and we want to click on WordPress. Just give that a click on the word, and then just click continue. Alright, great. So the next step is going to be to install WordPress, and I'll tell you what to type in right here, right now. So we want to leave this blank. Some people like putting WordPress on something like their domain.com/blog or WordPress, but we're just going to keep it simple. That's what I recommend. Let's put in an email, and this time we will not misspell it. Okay, so once we install WordPress, our WordPress login will be emailed here, so double check that you got that right. And our blog title, which is just travel blog, and then a user, I'm just going to go with first name, and great. You can really put anything here like admin or whatever you want. You could put your first initial last name. I'm just going to go with first name. And then hold on to your seats because we're now going to install WordPress. It's going to go real quick, so let's do it. We'll just click install now. And there we go. Congratulations. Our WordPress is now installed to 100% onto our new HostGator hosting and our domain name. So we are really in business, and the first thing that I did when I made my first install was I wanted to log in right away. So I copied the password and I clicked this link. You can also click right here. And oh wow, that was interesting. Usually it brings up a error message because it's not ready, but okay, that's good. We are now ready to log into WordPress for the very first time, and I was actually going to go to the gym in this little break, which is now not a break. So I will take a shorter break and then we will log into WordPress and create that blog that we saw right at the start. Okay, so stay tuned. We'll be right back, and we are going to make a blog, and then we're going to learn how to make money blogging. Alright guys, great stuff. So my break is over. I went on a little run and cut it short, which I wasn't really complaining about. And now we're going to log into our new blog. So copy this password from our quick install, and let's log right in. Alright, good stuff. So I'm gonna again clear some of our tabs up top. A little trick to do that. There we go. Alright, so let's take a look at our new blog. And here it is. This is the 2014 default theme. So when I say theme, if you're new to that term, don't worry about it. That just means the layout. So the sidebar over here and the green little search button and the sample page, it's all part of our theme, and we're basically gonna customize it in the next few minutes and get it looking like this, like the blog we checked out at the start. And we're gonna get it as close as possible, and whatever we can't do, I think I'll set up a part 2 and we'll build from there, and that'll give us more time to talk about really how to manage the blog and how to not only make money with it, but make money over time and make money on a consistent and on a passive basis, because that's really the sweet spot of blogging. So now that we're here, let's do some quick changes, and that's always exciting when we can quickly change the way that our blog appears. So let's start off and get ourselves a new theme, like we were just talking about, the themes. So we can go to Appearance, Themes, and we can just click on Themes right there. And then there's a lot of great free themes to choose from. You don't need to pay for a theme by any means, although companies will try to sell you them. But we're going to get a good free one and just click Add New. And we actually want to browse, and then over here we're going to search for a theme called Catch. So just type in Catch. Alright, okay, cool. So a few themes named Catch. This is the one we want, and when we scroll over here we can click Preview or Install, but I already know I want it. I'm just going to click the blue button Install, and then it sort of unzips the whole theme and leaves us these options, and we can click Activate. And there we go. There's no harm in installing a lot of themes and playing around. Your content, if you have it in there already, might change, but we don't, so there's really no harm in installing a lot of themes and getting it to look just how you want it. So let's give this a refresh, and we can see our new blog, our new site already looks way different, so we're already on the right track. Alright, that's cool. Next up, let's change some of the settings. So let's click on Settings, And then I want to give our site a title. I'm just going to write in travel blog, and then right here I'm going to write start a blog and make real money. Great. Alright, so right here we can give ourselves a www if we want. If you do that, you have to make sure this part right here matches this part exactly. Otherwise your site will break and it's a real pain. So just for simplicity, I'm going to keep it like this. Just a personal preference, not a big deal. And I'm just going to save changes and then refresh the site and keep your eye up by that logo. Alright, cool. So what I'm going to do now is just upload a bunch of images to the site. That'll make it look different pretty quickly. So to do that, hop over to media and then we're going to click add new. And then once we're over here, we can click select files, and that basically starts searching our computer. This will start searching my Mac, and I already neatly put everything in a little folder on my desktop called Naragai Images. Just gonna open that up and just upload all of them to our site, upload them all to our web hosting, and those will all come in pretty quickly. And that'll really help when we start populating the blog posts and adding a logo, which is going to be our next step. So go over to appearance and then theme options, which is kind of the sweet spot of our blog. Theme options is always really what the designer of the theme gives to you. It's their gift to you, and it is a really cool place to customize everything and just explore everything that you got yourself, whether it's a free theme or a paid theme. So now that we're here, I'm just going to go to logo options, and I am going to change the header logo. We can just click that button, and then we can click media library and show our logo image, which is just this one. And then I'm just going to scroll down and click insert into post. I don't have to worry about any of these other changes. We can talk about that all later. Just click insert into post. Alright, and I'm also going to change the footer logo, which will show up in our footer at the bottom of the blog. Again, media library. Grab this one again and insert into post. Cool. Now we can just click save. And that should do it. I'm going to go over and refresh naragai.com, and we got a logo and also a footer logo, which is pretty cool. Alright, so now I'm going to put in some social media, some buttons that you'll see up in the header up here. So that's also done in theme options, and it's going to be done in social links. So we can click right here, and then we can just start typing away, and then we can click save. So click that blue button, and then we can refresh to see the changes, and that's pretty cool. We got a nice social media section where people can interact with us on the social media platforms. Alright, so I said I'd keep this to about 20 minutes, and I want to adhere to that promise. It's totally my fault for making a couple little boo-boos early on. And so I want to just show you how to put an ad on the blog too, right here in this part 1. And to do that, I'm going to go to AdSense, Google's AdSense program. We'll click through on this link, and this is our AdSense home. It's the home for the application. And I'm going to click on My Ads, and then I'm just going to grab this ad, build a website, and we can click Get Code, and then just click here and then copy it, close out of here. We can see all of these are active, so we could really choose any one of them. And then back over here in our dashboard, to put an ad in, to insert it onto the site, go to widgets, and I'll just put it in a text widget, which is just a blank little feature that you can put any sort of code or any sort of typing that you want into. And I'm going to click add widget. So once you do that, we can paste in our code, and I'm just going to call it Square Google Ad, and then click Save. And while I'm at it, I'm going to delete some of these features from WordPress that can be helpful, but really we want our blog as customized to our own likings as possible. So we can always put these in later, but I'm going to delete them for now. And we'll keep the recent posts. And that should do it. So let's take a look at our changes. Refresh the blog. That's odd. Well, the funny thing is, I actually have an ad blocker on my browser right up here in the right corner. So I'm gonna make this blog exempt because I don't mind seeing the ads. I actually really would like to see them, so I can optimize their performance. And we can click exclude, and there we go. There's our ad right there. Alright guys, like I said early on, I wanted to keep it to a nice 20 minutes or so, and it looks like we came in at about 27-28 minutes. So thank you so much for watching if you made it all the way through. I really hope you learned a lot, and I think we deserve a pat on the back for getting through setting up a blog and a domain name and hosting and cool stuff like a logo and an ad. So I want to remind you to please use that coupon code if you get your hosting. Use the code COFFEEMONEY to try out hosting for just 1 penny. You can get it all for just 1 cent, and I earn a bit of credit, which really helps me keep these videos free for the entire world and all my subscribers. Also want to remind you to post a comment if you have any questions or just to say hello, and to hit the like button and all that good stuff. And lastly, open up that about section below for a link to part 2, and I look forward to seeing you there and talking soon. Alright guys, thanks again.